Chosen ones, empaths, if you've been entangled with a narcissist and you've gone your separate ways now, whether it was you discarded or you decided to cut them off, and you've caught wind of them with a new supply, and you're left wondering why the narcissist and the new supply appear so happy, I want you to understand, don't believe it for a second. The narcissist and the new supply's happiness is an illusion. You've got to understand, right, that not always, but a lot of the times when we was the new supply, they were flaunting us in the face of their ex. It's a hard pill to swallow, but you've got to understand those days, those early days when they were posting you on their social media or plastering you around on different platforms and of you two living your best life. They were doing this with one thought in mind, and it was to antagonize their ex-narcissist. Now, their ex-partner, sorry. Now, you've obviously heard that the ex-partner was abusive, was this, was that, whatever. All derogatory kind of terms. But a lot of the times, they're not actually that, Their ex-partner was probably fairly decent. They might not have been an empath. They might not have been a chosen one. But the narcissist wanted to paint them with a brush to play the victim like they love to do so well. And this is basically what you're caught up in a cycle of now, where you're seeing them go forward and appear happy. You've got to understand you've got to understand this from the standpoint of when you were the person that they were flaunting. The narcissist wasn't pair bonding with you. The narcissist wasn't connected with you. The narcissist was very distant from their mind to you. They might have been all over you. They might have been all over you sexually. All of that. They'll do that stuff. But in all honesty, they hadn't actually really cut the soul tie from their previous ex. Their previous ex was still in their heads. You got to understand, anytime you heard them talk about their ex, that's just the times they talked about it to you. How many times do you think it was running through their heads or they didn't mention it to you? Now, you guys might have gone on for a period of years or for some time, so naturally it dissipates, it lessens, and their ex seemed less important, right? But when it comes to a chosen one and an empath, right, they'll never shake that. So where they go, and this is the thing, please press the like and subscribe button. Thank you. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. Sorry, I jumbled my words a bit there. You've got to see, right, that them being with you, right, was such a big impact in their lives. So even though they've gone off with a new supply now, they're still connected with you. And as I said earlier on about how eventually as years go by, they'll start to forget about their ex, it actually intensifies if you're an empath. If you're a genuine empath, you're a genuine chosen one, it only increases, because we're such potent supplies, and they make dreadful mistakes when they go after us. They make a dreadful mistake. They believe they start to think everyone's like us. Sorry, my chest. They start to think everyone is like us. That's why they often monkey branch and downgrade. Also because they're going back to their level. The mirroring for them, the main reason why they go back to their level is because the mirroring they can't maintain. The mirroring of us actually makes them feel shit about themselves. It makes them feel disgusted with themselves, you know, because they realize they're everything that you're not. And like I always say, everything we loved about the narcissist, we fell in love with our own reflection because they were mirroring us. Everything. I mean everything. I mean everything that we loved about the narcissist, from top to bottom, was merely a reflection of us, and we fell in love with ourselves. But I don't want you sitting there believing the new supply and the narcissist being happy. I don't want you sitting there believing that for a second. They appear happy. It's an illusion. It's done in spite of you. They're doing it with the intentions of you in mind. And yeah, naturally they're trying to transform the once loving, potent supply that they got from you. They don't care if it's a potent negative supply. Either. They don't care. Supply to them. So please don't reach out and start saying, oh, like, because I saw them with a downgrade, but I didn't tell them that. My silence kind of spoke enough words. And even when I did speak to them post discard, I didn't mention the new supply. I didn't let it faze me. Don't worry about it. I don't care. Like, you got to understand with social media as well, Instagram and all of that, you can doctor photos, and you can... How many times did they try and take that shot? That shot that you're seeing of them appearing happy. How many times did they try and take that picture? Do you think it was just the first picture that they took? No. You know how it is when you take a photo. You might have to take 2 or 3. And that's the same for them. They might have to take 2 or 3 as well to make that shot look like a certain way to antagonize you. You got to understand, right, first and foremost, the narcissist can't pair bond. So them going off glorifying them with a new supply like they've met their match in heaven and everything's sunshine and rainbows, they can't pair bond. They couldn't pair bond with you. They can actually bond better with you when you're separated from them, because as time goes on, they stop to remember all the bad things. You know, all those bad things they told you done. Don't believe those either, because that's a lot of bullshit too, right? But all of that stuff that they threw at you, all of the stuff where they told you you're doing wrong and this and that and this and that, don't believe that for a second either, right? And that they start to forget about that stuff, and they'll start to remember all of the good things that you brung, and then they'll compare you to the new supply, and they'll realize that you're cut from a different cloth and you was a lot better. Okay? Now, a normal person, if they made a dreadful mistake and they moved on with someone and then they wanted their person back, they would confront the person, their ex, and say, look, I made a mistake. Is there any chance we can reconcile and work this out? Narcissists won't do that. Narcissists will try and turn the new supply into you. Or they'll be on the scout for another supply that equates to you. But this all comes down to self-worth and self-value. If you value yourself very highly, and I'm not saying that you're valuing yourself at the highest proportion at the moment because you've been devalued, but I need you to really do the inner work. You have to practice and do the inner work to actually realize your value and build yourself up again. Because this is the crucial factor. If you're looking at yourself like thinking, oh, they've got someone better than me. Oh, no. Do you know what I mean? Don't feel sorry for yourself, man. Listen, we've all been through it here in this community. We've all been through it. We've all seen them go off with someone new. Maybe not all of us, but a lot of us have seen them go off with someone new. Yeah, it scars our heart a little. But if you can see beneath the veil, you can see they're orientating their whole social media platforms aimed at you. They're aiming at you. You think when they were doing their hair that day, they weren't doing that for their new supply. They were doing that, and they were doing their hair for you, or they were posing in a certain way for you to piss you off, to trigger you, right? And I know it's sick, and I know it's twisted, and I know they're standing next to someone, and this was the person that you loved. But as long as you break the trauma bond, like I say, and understand that this person was never your soulmate, they were never your companion, they were never your other half, They were never a loving person. And you need to get that imprinted in your mind quickly. Okay? So please, people, don't believe the new supply and the narcissists are happy. It's an illusion. They appear happy. But what's going on beneath the surface of them is really what's going on. Like I mentioned earlier on in the video, how when we was with them, they were thinking about their ex. Same rules apply now. They're with the new supply thinking about you. And that is the facts. And a chosen one and an empath will stay imprinted in their minds because they will never find someone that equates to your level. So if you know you're a genuine empath, you know you're caring, considerate, empathetic, loving, kind, you display all of those traits, then I promise you that the narcissist will never find another you and they will never get over you. As I've mentioned so many times, I've had hoovers after 4 years, after 6 years. I had hoovers at the beginning. I didn't know what was going on because I was so fresh to just awakening. I didn't realize they were a narcissist. I knew they were toxic, but I didn't know they were a narcissist. And my downfall was I used to believe that then I started to feel sorry for them because I believed they were raised by a narcissistic parent. And that was my downfall. I should have never done that because there's so many people that have been abused as a child and they grow up and be caring, considerate individuals and campaigners against child abuse and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope this video clears some stuff up. I hope you understand that the narcissists and the new supply aren't happy. I will touch on one thing before I go. I mentioned that they downgraded. I mentioned they monkey branched. But what you've got to take into consideration, what about if this new supply is a narcissist? There's nothing there. It's like trying to draw blood from a stone. If they're a psychopath, there's so many in our society. There's a lot more in our society than they make out with the facts and statistics, right? It's quite likely that they've ran into another toxic individual. So you really need to take that into an account. And if they've run into another toxic individual, oh God, oh boy, they'll really miss you. Do you know what I mean? They'll really miss you because they can't gain supply from toxic individuals like they gain from us. They gauge so much supply from us. It's unreal. Even the negative. So please, please, people, do not fall victim to the illusion of social media with filters, all of the crap that you can do with pictures these days, changing pictures, you can alter pictures. Do not believe it for a second. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find a link in the description box. And if you would like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find a link in the description box. Currently, I have a secondary channel, the spiritual channel. If you want to check that out, the link for that channel is also in the description box. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.